Collaborative consumption is people coordinating the acquisition and distribution of resources for a fee or other compensation. One of the most popular forms of collaborative consumption is car sharing, the most popular being Uber, which connects passengers with everyday drivers. This video will investigate Uber to try and further understand the motivations as to why consumers are switching to services such as collaborative-based consumption.
We interviewed a number of regular Uber passengers and identified three dominant factors as to why this shift is occurring: convenience, cost effectiveness, and cool factor. Faster than ever, consumer lifestyles are changing and so are their needs and wants. This is resulting in traditional consumption methods, such as ownership, no longer being the most convenient form of consumption for many consumers. A recurring trait among various collaborative consumption services is their high level of convenience and aim to meet consumers' changing needs and wants. To investigate further, we asked Uber passengers if they found the car-sharing platform convenient and why.
Especially when there's things like traffic and peak hour, and it gets crazy in the mornings, and coming home from work and things like that. Finding parking, you don't have to worry about it. It's a lot more convenient, especially in the city.
The location of the driver, you can see how far away the driver is and when he's going to reach you in how many minutes.
It's quite convenient because the app on the phone is friendly, user friendly.
I find Uber quite convenient from its easy to use app and its cashless payment, which I like a lot because I don't usually carry cash often.
All interviewees identified Uber as a convenient service and a motivational factor for its use. Uber was particularly convenient in certain environments such as inner city areas and where parking is limited and owning a vehicle isn't the easiest way to get around. The global financial crisis of 2008 shook consumers' confidence to its core and made them reevaluate their purchasing habits and what they hope to gain from purchases they make. Many consumers are looking to live a more financially savvy life, and consumption methods such as ownership are often too costly to meet these needs. Consumers are also increasingly looking to experience and explore more in life, rather than simply obtain possessions. To further investigate, we asked Uber passengers if they found the car-sharing platform cost-effective and why.
It's definitely cheaper. I think sometimes it can cut down the cost by $10, $20.
Just the cheapness of it. I just heard by word of mouth how cheap it is compared to a cab, and how much better the service is in the actual car than the cab.
City to St. Lucia for UQ, and normally it takes me $26, something like that, for a taxi, but it only cost me $18 for Uber, so it's much cheaper that way.
Uber is definitely cost effective, especially compared to taxis, as it's usually about 20 to 30% cheaper in most cases.
All interviewees identified Uber to be a cost-effective form of transport and a motivational factor for its use. In particular, interviewees found Uber to be cost-effective when compared to the associated costs of owning and running a vehicle. For an increasing number of consumers, ownership is no longer the ultimate form of consumption. More and more, consumers seek alternative consumption methods such as collaborative consumption. Many see these substitutes as trendy, forward-thinking ways of consuming, and in particular, most collaborative consumption services are providing consumers with experiences not seen elsewhere. To investigate further, we asked Uber users if they found the car-sharing platform exudes a cool factor and why.
Definitely, I think Uber is a lot more conspicuous, so you're not rocking up to somewhere with adverts all over the car and you don't have this big taxi sign above the car or anything like that, so it feels a lot better.
Some circumstances, yes, like depending because you can get picked up by like a Mercedes C-Class.
Yeah.
And you know, you're driving in a nice car and whatnot.
Yeah,
compared to a black and white.
Different.
I think it's quite innovative for a transportation service, since it differs from using a taxi. The driver is more friendly and they provide waters and meals to you, and they talk to you in a friendly way. So I think it's cool.
In a certain way, Uber does have a cool factor, especially you can choose the kind of car that you want, which I find pretty cool.
Only some interviewees expressed that they felt Uber exuded a cool factor. What made Uber cool varied between interviews, but the inconspicuousness, mobile application, and overall innovativeness of the service were all found to be contributing factors.
These are all common features of collaborative consumption, and is why we believe more and more consumers are turning to such services. And for the foreseeable future, this trend is only going to continue to boom.